Libra, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. And if you're not a Libra, and this has popped up in your suggested videos, it's because it's your message. And it comes to you at exactly the right time. And this is where your message begins. Wow, I gotta say, give me a second because I didn't see this coming. Time for a beginner mind. So there is a necessity that's happening right now in your life, Libra, for you to almost know that you haven't been here before or behave as if you haven't been here before. Clear out your mind. It's almost like your brain right now is... It needs you to clear out the cookies, clear out the history, clear out the cache, like clear it out, like as if it was a computer, clear it out, and almost like factory reset. Now, factory reset would be the extreme. Some of you may need that. But ultimately, there's just this sense of a need for a purge of information because the information is almost like too compromised. It's too jumbled. It doesn't make any sense. There's a sense of you just need to start fresh when it comes to however you're seeing the situation or your perspective on the situation. Now, that could also mean physical distance, right? Having to remove yourself a little while to get that headspace, to get that clarity on a situation that really needs you to see it from an objective perspective or for the perspective of you've never been here before. Time for a beginner mindset is it's interesting. There's things here that you don't know, you don't understand. That's confirmed. You don't know everything that's going on. It's an awkward situation. Maybe you don't know how to put everything together right now. Maybe you can feel the oddity, the strangeness of the circumstance. So it's best to not try to fit it into your past experiences. We all of us, doesn't matter, Libra, whoever, we all do this, and it's part of the human brain. To understand a new situation, we compare it to an old situation. Well, there is really no comparison, and you actually confuse yourself more by trying to compare this to a circumstance that has already happened to you. And in fact, it might be making it more difficult for you to handle the current situation because you are trying to compare it to another situation, but it's different. It is actually brand new. It is not like what you've been through before. And certainly, I'm not saying don't use your instincts, which is basically the summation of our experiences. But know that, trust that feeling inside of you that something is different here, because it is different. And we're going to get into, through the course of this reading, how things are different. And then, of course, what you need to do to act in this situation so that it will be most productive for you and it won't feel like everything's falling apart, because I know that you will blame yourself if you feel like you haven't done enough or that you misstepped. And so the best way to not misstep now is to go to novice mode, go to totally beginner mode, and just treat yourself with patience and you treat yourself with kindness in the situation, and know that you haven't been in this situation before. This is your very first class. Go about it in that perspective, and automatically you're going to set yourself up for more success or more progress, or you'll get more progress out of this situation by just allowing yourself to admit, I don't know this, right? And I'll have to be taught this. So let's get on to the deeper message. We'll continue this message, Libra. Remember, as I divide the deck, there are going to be cards that fall out. I'm going to leave them where they are. That's just how I do the reading. That's supposed to happen. If you're new here, or even if you're not, even if you're coming back, and thank you so much for my return viewers, but for my new viewers too, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Click that subscription bell, click that subscription box, subscribe, and then look to see that all notifications, like click that notification bell and click to see that all notifications have been selected. It's the only way you're going to get notified when I go live, and on YouTube is the only place that I go live and do free public tarot card readings. Everywhere else, nowhere else do I do that. So it's YouTube exclusive, so be sure that you are subscribed if you want to participate in that. And if you're looking for personal readings, I provide those. Check out my website. It's the only place that you can book with me, and then you can schedule at your convenience, and you'll have your message within 24 hours. There's no more available spots this week. It is holiday week for a lot of us in the States, but there's definitely open availability for next week. Okay. Okay, that wants to stay there. Let's do that. If you're sensitive to sound, you might want to turn down the volume a little bit, because I do cleanse your space and mind with sound. So just a couple of seconds. So let's see if any more cards want to come out first. Nope. We'll start with the past. Watch and wait. This is Piscean energy. So you were trying to have patience with a specific situation. You were trying to, I don't think it was understanding it. I honestly think you were waiting. There's some sort of expectation that's connected to this energy with this card. So okay. So that's part of what the universe is trying to tell you now. Whatever you were waiting for is part of what you need to clear out of your mind. You need a new mindset. So there could be a need to let go here, at the very least, in terms of your expectation for what you were waiting for. But also it could be what you were waiting for itself, a sense of letting go, or a new mindset on whether or not you should be waiting. Right? Whether or not this is worth it. It's time to leave something behind. You could see whenever you're on the backside of a porcupine, it's not that fun. You guys see it, right? And it's almost like that's where the spikes are pointed. And it's almost like there's a part of you that doesn't want to wait anymore. That you're kind of done with something. It's turned defensive to you. That whatever is in the past is something that you have identified as it's hurting you. That's why there's that defensive modality. Porcupine turns its spikes toward something that it is scared of, that it feels is coming after it, or has done it harm, or will do it harm, and I don't think that something's coming after you as much as holding on to and waiting for this is what is doing you harm. And that's what you have to defend yourself against. And I think there's defensiveness here with seeing something, with moving on and moving on to something new. But ultimately, I can say to you, letting that go is going to drop a burden that has wasted too much of your energy already. And I think a lot of you need to hear that. And then we have, it's almost like maybe you have not wanted to let go, but the future is where it's at for you. It's not even like, or moving on, but right now, the current situation is where it's at for you. It's not in the past. You've held on to something, or you've waited for something to change. And the truth is that it isn't and it won't. That's confirmed. Take time out, bear is here. So it's like, yeah, you really do need to defend yourself. And you need to take time away from this to protect yourself from it. God wants to intervene and say, maybe I've even taken this out of your life in some way. So ultimately, I can say this, you've just been blessed because the universe may have just cut you off from something that you needed to be protected from. I know, I'm just like, it's hard for me to like not look somebody in the eye when I'm talking. It's so weird to look at a little green light. And I always try to like look at my eye line. But that's the issue here, is that the universe almost had to step up and take something out of your life because it knows that you needed protection from it, and know that if you don't cut yourself off from it this week, the universe is going to step up and do it for you. Because there's this energy of you need to, at the very least, take space to gain some perspective on this circumstance, because I don't think it is what you wanted it to be. Or good news, you may have just gotten kicked out of a situation that you had been waiting to happen, but here it is. You rushed into the situation because you wanted something so bad. Could have even been a new job. Doesn't have to be. Everybody always thinks I'm talking about relationships. Only if that's what you're hearing. Sorry. Ultimately, you just lost a situation that the universe was protecting you from. 100% when that card comes out, it's like, take time out, duck, lay low. You need to get out of this situation, and that's why I cut you off from it. So that's confirmed. It was for protection, and I think you ultimately would have tried to fight or hold on with it, but Jesus just saved your life. Universe just saved your life. Then we have use your mind wisely. So this is when pigs fly, making the impossible happen, which is with intellect, cool intellect. You can figure out a solution to any problem. It also means that maybe something that you think is impossible is about to happen. Sing your own song, be true to yourself, be authentic. Don't try to impress anybody or say that you know what you don't know. You know what you know. You are who you are. Just be very calm with the situation and be very true with the situation. Maybe even in some ways speak your mind and let yourself be. The impossible is about to happen. Maybe something with your words or with your voice. Something that you've built or said or done or thought and you want to share. And then we have now as a lucky time. That's beautiful. So I think the impossible is about to happen simply because you're free again. You're liberated. You need to take some space, especially this week. Just give it a rest, give it a break. And then ultimately there is a circumstance that's coming in that is quite refreshing and quite new, and it's got something to do with music around it. It's got something to do with maybe you singing or expressing yourself or speaking or listening to it. I don't know. We're going to get into it, but ultimately this opportunity is coming your way. Something was intervened. The universe intervened to block you from something that you had been holding on to, that it was hard for you to let go of. But I will confirm that on some level, you freaking knew you had to let go. On some level, you knew you had to let go, but you didn't want to give up. And if it wasn't for the universe intervening, you wouldn't have given up. You would have kept going. And ultimately, nope, that wasn't for you. That wasn't for you. This is the thing, especially when we use our intuition. Sometimes we settle for, not settle. We pick up the indicators, the sensory indicators that we're looking for. Only we don't stop to see if all the sensory input is there. We just kind of latch onto the little bits that fit, and we don't realize that the rest isn't fitting. And then we don't want to let go of the little bits that fit. We want to convince ourselves, but this fits so well here, that we just have to adjust and rearrange over here. But that's not true. There is a perfect fit for this situation. The universe has taken away the situation that was not the perfect fit for you. There is hardship or a feeling of hardship in that letting go, but it's actually the universe has protected you. There is something suited for you and amazingly prosperous for you that is coming, and it's not too long from now. That's really the announcement for this week. The announcement for this week is that that is coming for you. Not that, you know, you've had to be blocked. Some of you, I think it is for your own protection. I'll just say that straight up. Libra, what was the universe protecting Libra from? We have bear energy, prosperity, abundance. No, I don't think you were being protected from that. There's something here in the past, something that you started. This has to do with something that started, or a new opportunity that began a while ago. And now there's something about prosperity here, or what is going to be most prosperous. That's interesting. It's almost like you had to be held back and wait for this opportunity to be open and ready for you. Could have also something to do with a house or a home, shopping around for one, or a larger ticket item. This is fantastic. Like, so exciting. Now we have, coming up in the future, clarity. We also have victory. So you had the new opportunity, the new potential, something that was there, that was really impressing you, or that you really cared about, that really excited you. Just a fresh mindset, or a fresh, maybe something, just something new. And then we have this energy of home. And settling in and having it firmed up and being sure of yourself. And then we have we have the sword energy, which is victory and success, actual officiation of, like, the paperwork comes in, or being able to actually execute or speak and say something, or announce and decide something. So what began not too long ago, I don't know, something is ready for you now that was not ready for you then. That's what I'm sure of. Can you please clarify then, though? So in other words, allow yourself to kick back and relax a little bit, because the universe is absolutely shifting things to make this work for you. Temperance is in reverse here, which means there was rushing in, something that was unsuited, something that wasn't working or wasn't fitting together. And then we have Eight of Pentacles, could have had something to do with work, right? But it's not that you weren't working hard or doing the right thing. It's that ultimately something happened too rash. Something happened too rash. You were doing really good work. And I think the universe wants you to know that. Sorry, the lighting is changing here. I'm so sorry. The universe needs you to know that you need to keep up your diligence and working the way that you were working. It's not necessarily something you're doing. It's not what you were doing wrong. It's that you were doing it in the wrong place, or with the wrong people, or with the wrong person. Okay, so that's why I think God wants you to kind of take a break and be like, stop rearranging yourself, or feeling like you have to rearrange how you were behaving. The only behavior you have to rearrange is who you're deciding to be engaged with, because there is a place or a position or a person, however this is resonating with you, that is absolutely, I don't want to say perfect, because I always think that that's too much of a grandiose statement, but it is the right one. It is the right fit for you. And whatever it was that you lost, believe me, it doesn't compare to what's coming. Your hard work is absolutely paying off. There is an offer coming for you because of the way that you work, and the way that you are, and what you know, and your skill set. There is financial gain coming in. There could be financial resources coming into you, or simply a sense of finding a way to finally make things work out. I think what wasn't working out was who you were around and who you were trying to do these things with. And that's what had to shift. So where was the shift? It just feels so dark in here right now. Apollo has to do with sunshine, desirability, waiting for the sun to rise. Sun's about to rise here, my friends, and Sagittarius season this is when it all comes true. This is when it all starts to happen. Maybe you were so eager for success, you rushed into a situation, you didn't wait long enough, right? And so ultimately somebody couldn't understand. So it's almost like whoever you were dealing with wasn't ready for you. right? They were defensive. And so ultimately, I think there's a breakthrough here, finding a group of people or somebody that actually has a mindset that's ready for you or ready to engage you. Let's go to the extended, guys, because I want to continue this message and this understanding of the situation. Link is down below in the description box. I've also pinned it to the top of the comment section. I definitely want you to find me because that's what supports the channel, and I will see you there.